Hi friends, this is Sandhya here. Today I'm going to share a short video on how to identify our stakeholders and manage them effectively during any initiative. Before I go ahead, I would request you to subscribe the channel and also share our videos with your friends and colleagues. This will help me to basically create a bigger platform and cover more topics. Okay, let us start now. The key part of the managing and engaging the stakeholder effectively during any initiative. The stakeholders are the key part of any initiative. Remember this because they are the one who have initiated, or they will be the one who will be using the solution. If the stakeholders are not happy, if their requirements are not elicited or they are missed out for some reason, then it will have a major impact on the solution, or the what we call is the success of the solution. See, these requirement, we may think that the requirements are missed, but at the initial stage you can incorporate, but at later stage there will be tremendous cost of incorporating those requirements. As you already know that the cost goes up multiple times, and that would impact on your budget, as well as also it would impact on the satisfaction of the stakeholders, or many other ways. So the key part is that in order to create the successful engagement, we need to first step is identify our stakeholders, and the second is that how do we prepare and plan our strategy to engage them and keep their interest at optimal level during the initiative. So let's go ahead and find out how do we identify our stakeholders. So depending on the initiative and its scope, you can identify who could be the possible stakeholders will be part of this initiative, and based on that scope and the roles who are engaged, we can start obtaining the details. Details such as the stakeholders' name, their contact details, where they are working, the department, their location, their language preference, their role, their role in the organization, and their role in the initiative. Those both things are important, uh, because sometimes the role in the organization may be very powerful, but role in the initiative may not be significant one. So ensure that you elicit both the requirement and both the details, and also find out what are their particular requirement or expectation from these initiatives, and how this particular initiative is going to impact on their work and their team and their any other infrastructure they may be using, and what are the dependencies they may have in order to incorporate their requirement, or in order to change their the existing arrangement or the operations or the processes, etc. In addition to all these things, we also need to identify what are their influences on an individual basis and what are their authorities. So don't confuse these two. There could be people who are go-getter and they connect well, and they may have a larger influence irrespective of their the role or the authority. Okay, authority we need to know in order to see that who will approve the requirement, and what kind of the influence they may have in the on the project or the change. The next what we need to do is identify the additional details. Additional details are like their communication preferences. Some people want the information by email. Somebody wants that to be presented in a workshop or a proper the official the meetings. Somebody wants to review and research. Somebody wants to personally meet them and present all the details. So there are various ways they are I mean willing to engage. with the business analyst or the project team, I would say. uh, I'm going to create most of the videos which is useful for the business analyst as well as other professionals in this area, for example change management or the business transformation or the testing team, etc. The next part, we also need to understand the communication preference periods. For example, somebody wants to know the periodically every week, they want to be involved and they want to be informed. Someone will say that, okay, you can club all this information together and send me once in a while. Or someone is saying that, okay, inform me urgently if it is important. So, get all these details and document them, because if you need to send the emails and you know who all are the people are there, you need to send them on a priority basis. If you need, someone is interested in the presentation, so if you need to conduct a workshop or a formal meeting, so you know whom to basically involve. Okay, so that way this helps you to organize your work effectively. And once we collect the data related to the stakeholders' details as well as their communication preference, also confirm these details with individual stakeholders to ensure that you got the information correct, except that you are not going to share their influence and their authority. Authority is okay, but influence or maybe other part which you want to use it for yourself or for your team. Okay, so this is what we will have. Next, here I'm going to share about how the stakeholder engagement can be documented. And in this case, if you see, I have created a sample the table, and it's you can use a simple Excel sheet and basically add these details. If you see, the first we are talking about what is the business user role and the business or the group where they are coming from, or a business unit. Then we talk about is their contact details. It there has a name, but I guess it is somehow not seen. Okay, let me just check. Okay, then you can, their name also should be there, and contact details, their location, and their subject matter expertise. What are the technical knowledge they may have, or their preferences. And the RACI, that is the most important part of the stakeholder engagement, is we have to categorize our stakeholder into the four or five. If you are looking at four, that is RACI, and if you are looking at the five categories, then that could be RACIS. Okay, R stands for somebody is responsible. The responsible means someone who is actually doing it. Okay, and the second one is the A it stands for accountability. It means some, if anything goes wrong, that particular person will be accountable for the benefits or any the losses incurs. Okay, then the next comes is a C. C must be we are talking about confirmed, okay, or consulted. So that particular person need to be consulted before we go ahead, because their work or their role may be affected by this initiative, so we need to consult them. For example, if you are changing any requirement, you need to consult the project manager, that way. And I means informed. These are the people who are the passively involved, and their work and the schedule is depend on our initiative and our progress. For example, the testers are involved. They will create the test cases, and so any changes to the requirement, they need to be informed, or any changes to the schedule, so you need to inform them so they can plan their schedule accordingly. The next comes to this S means here it is a support if you are using as a S. So then you have to see how someone need to be supported. So once you complete these RACI and this document and confirm with the stakeholders and share this one. The most important part of this document is this is not a static document, this is a dynamic, because you will identify more stakeholders. You may have to remove some of them which are, who are not relevant. So keep this updated all the time. Okay, and this is the most important. So this will help you to ensure that all the stakeholders are engaged at appropriate level and informed. Now, when the next part we are talking about managing them effectively or engaging them, we categorize the stakeholders based on their role in the organization and their role in the initiative, their authority to approve, the communication preference, etc., to manage them well. For example, if you we go back to the stakeholder list, so you can see that people who are um, but coming from particular the business role or the business unit, we can communicate them together. Or somebody who has the particular approval authority, they can we can club them together. Somebody wants only the email the communication, so we can basically club them together. So this is a various ways we can communicate our the stakeholders and engage them effectively in order to keep their interest level, and also in order to create the create the successful project. All right, so if you have any questions, please write in the comment. I'll try to reply there. Thank you for watching.